Like, what's the negative on the telesales side? Like, what's the trade-off? Because it's with everything. Is it more difficult to build to close, right?
Yeah.
Is the ratio lower on closing? I mean, what is that? What's the difference you see?
I would say building the why and then kind of figuring out the need and just figuring out why the client filled the form out and getting them to trust you, building that credibility, like sending them your license, an image of you, your driver's license. Like, you have to do all those things to build that trust because you're asking for some personal information. As in, you get the objection a lot. I don't want to give that over the phone.
Sure.
I don't want to give my social security over the phone.
Let's get in that. I want to see how you overcome that. Let's touch base on that.
So when somebody gives me the objection, I don't want to give my banking. Okay, so John, I understand that. So have you ever applied for life insurance before?
No.
Okay, so yeah, as far as that's pretty standard because what the insurance carriers are going to do, they're going to validate your information. They're going to validate that your banking information matches your social security and your driver's license to make sure nobody's trying to get insurance in your name, right? Because they don't want any insurance fraud or anything going on. It's pretty standard. So go ahead with the account and routing number, starting with the routing number.
So just very simple. You kind of let them know, and then you just move right forward.
Yeah. And
I think that's the thing with most people. They mess it up when they answer whatever objection it might be, but then they pause. Like, what that's going to allow the client to do, or what's going to encourage a client to do, is just ask another question. So you always want to answer a question with a question, and so that's applicable in both ways. But that you took perfect control over that. Like, you made sense of it. And then it's okay to be assumptive, because once you kind of asked a question, have you ever dealt with this? And they said no, and you kind of explain to them, because all they're needing is clarification. Like, what I realized, and this is kind of how I shifted in my mind, Marcus, when I think I started getting better with objection handling, was it's not an objection. It was more the fact that they just needed clarification.
Yeah, they don't understand it quite.
They don't understand it.
Yeah.
Because it changed my mind when I saw it, like, man, I got an objection. It was like I was in a fight. Like I had to overcome something. Opposed to, nah, man, like this, because an objection means it seems like there's a hindrance or a block from them getting what you're trying to service them with, that value of that product, whatever. It's a block in that I have to overcome or jump over. But in my mind, I shifted and said, no, this doesn't devalue how important it is for the client. They're not saying this isn't important. They're simply saying, I don't understand. And so all I got to do is clarify and then go back to where I left off, ask a question, stay in control, and move forward, because people want to be led and guided and directed by somebody that has confidence, that is in control, and that can lead them. And that's exactly how you did it, man. I mean, that's perfect. That's objection handling 101 right there, Yep. What are some objections that you get? Like, what's a common objection you get doing telesales?
A lot of times it's personal information. So I'm pretty good at building rapport, but a lot of times it's getting the social, getting the bank account info. That's really the main objection.
Are you proactive now to try to handle that up front?
Yeah. So
what things do you do that kind of help you set yourself up where you don't get it?
So to build rapport and also let them know that their personal info is safe, I'm calling them one time, and if they answer on the first ring, great. But if not, I send a text message with my state license I'm working in and my name, basically explain what I'm doing. I need 10, 15 minutes. I'm the field underwriter that's going to qualify you medically for the best rates in the industry. So you're giving them the idea that they're going to be answering some health questions right off the bat. You're going to have to verify your identity. So I do tell them that. I'm saying, so we're going to run what's called Medical Information Bureau check, and we're going to have to verify your identity. Not only that, we need to use your social so they know who to pay out when the benefits are collected. So it gives them an idea, and also what Marcus was talking about earlier, reminding them what they filled out that form for. So it's asking them right off the bat, what has you looking into this today? Did you want to leave money for a beneficiary? Did you want to cover burial or both? So right off the bat, you're getting to remember why they filled out that form, why they thought about it in the first place, and who they're doing it for. And it's and building that credibility with the license and all that good stuff. So you I don't get it as much anymore, because off the bat, I'm telling them expectations and setting, a process through with them. And from then on, it's just kind of like, all right, well, I told you from the beginning, so let's get to it.
Anything you want to add to that, Marcus?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's a process, right? So I always mention words like price, budget, financial, like so they know that eventually I'm going to be asking for some financial information. So what we're going to do here, John, is I'm going to ask you a little bit about your medical, and then a little bit about your financial, and then even when I'm going before I get into the medical questions, I'll let them know. So I'll ask them, hey, so are you still working full-time, part-time, retired, disabled? What's that look like? Oh, I'm retired. Okay, are you collecting Social Security? Okay, perfect. And then do you typically get that like on a prepaid card, like a Direct Express card, or do you have an active bank account? Oh, I have an active bank. Okay, who do you bank with? Oh, I bank with Chase. Okay, so yeah, and the purpose, the reason why I was asking that, John, is because, the insurance carriers, a lot of people receive their Social Security benefits on like a prepaid card, like a Direct Express card, but because you have an active bank account with a, account and routing number, your options are still widely available to you because some of the insurance carriers can't validate those prepaid cards, so your options are still widely available to you, so that's good. And then I'll move on through the medical questions. So they already
do you
know,
do that to kind of like help, limit the time working with somebody that you're not going to be able to kind of help them because they don't have an account?
Yeah, exactly.
Or choose carriers that accept Direct Express.
Dude, I remember I had to do that back when I got, this is 10 years ago. We didn't have any Direct Express like carriers. No credit card, nothing. Like, you didn't have a checking account, bro, you ain't getting a policy, man.
Right.
Like, there's no option.
I had never heard of Direct Express before FFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never
So you had to have a checking account. Dude, I remember I went to this one client's house, dude. I couldn't find the address because I kept passing it back and forth because it was like a little shack. Like, dude, it was smaller than this podcast room. I'm not lying. Dude, so I go up and I walk up to this house, and all of a sudden this dog pops out of this, like, door, dude, that's like this big, like a door for, like, trolls. This dog pops out. It's on a chain, dude. It starts flying around this house. This house is so small, dude. It's lapping the house, dude, with its chain. I'm thinking, like, and I see there's an address on it. I'm like, dude, this is a dog house. No kidding, bro. A human being crawls out of the little troll. And like, I was like, they're like, oh, are you here for the appointment? I was like, oh yeah, I am. Oh, by the way, all the programs, they give nice discounts if you got a checking a savings account. Who do you bank with? Oh, I don't have no checking account. So, you know what? Unfortunately, I was like, I was out of here. Like, I was thinking in my mind, like, visualizing crawling through that door, like, like.
Sitting down on the stump.
God, dude. And they have this Rottweiler was just staring at me the whole time. It already lapped their house 17 times by the time I got done my 2 sentences. But yeah, man, that you want to be proactive. Like, that's just being smart. Like, asking that and throwing that out to figure out.
Yeah, in the beginning, so you're not wasting a whole lot of time.
Sure, man. Move on to somebody you can serve.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody who wants to help.
I love that, man.